Uh, Hi, welcome back to a new episode of the Greatest Book Club in the world, the Book Club. Yeah. And today, guys, we're on an extremely special episode. Because today, guys, we're on episode number 334, guys. So many episodes, guys. This is unbelievable. So, guys, if you're not, thank you very much for joining me. Guys, if you're not to the channel, welcome. And if you're already familiar with the channel, welcome back. My name is Zach and I'm the host. And this podcast, guys, we're working together on speaking and on communication skills to stand in front of the camera to communicate well through the camera. And this is because truly believe that English is the number one tool that teach one of us must acquire to be successful in life. And the second tool is the goal to help us write it to well through the camera. And if you take those two skills and you can combine them together, you can create content to the internet, you can influence billions of people all around the world. So it's highly recommend to work on those skills, guys. And hoping that I share with you guys my own journey, my ups and downs, my failures, my success, how I overcome the obstacles that I'm facing, and the lessons that I learned from podcasting 5 extremely exciting episodes per week. I inspire the people like you, the lady and gentlemen that are watching this podcast like you, to also do the same, and also share messages about and inspire the world and make a difference because you truly matter and you matter and you're great. And no matter what everybody else told you in your life, you matter and your stories matter and your voices matter. So just share before the world, guys. And you never know who is need to hear your voice and who you can influence and who you can make his a day better with your voice. So just do it, guys. If only it's one people, if it's you only, just do it, guys, to feel better with yourself. Yeah. And today, guys, you see we got this. I mean, a mood of a night mood. We got these mushrooms, nice mushrooms from, I don't know, it looks like a fairy tale or something. And it's a moon. It's look like really, it's kind of romantic, something like this. And yeah, it's look nice. And guys, if you want to go to this romantic scenery, you know where you can find it on 3, 2, 1, kabam. That's right, you can find it on Good Fun. And this great background I put to Good Fun bananas was in Dreamera on 13 on August 2017, and it's downloaded already 3,081 times, guys. So yeah, savage. And of course, guys, if you like the video, if you like the picture, because you want to show appreciation to the artist who made this background, then it's really a nice background. And guys, if you want to download the picture, just need to choose the resolution from here. You see? Press download. Right click on the picture, go to שמירת תמונת בשם, עושה pictures, שמירת תמונת בשם מניבור, עושה pictures in English, and type down in the comment below, write it in your own language, and all of us we need to guess from where you are all around the world. It could be a really nice game. Press on it. Choose very much to save it on a computer. Press save and just like that, you will get this grad account on computer. So thank you very much for the artists who made this grad account, and thank you very much for Dreamera for sharing this grad account with us. And today, guys, we'll continue our journey with influence, the psychology of persuasion, and it's going to be chapter 2. And I can't wait to start the book. I really enjoy the book. And then each day I learn something new from the book. So I really love the book. And guys, if you want to check out this background, or if you want to check out the book and open the big Cialdini social media account, you got all the links in the description below. So make sure to check them out, like them, and learn from them. And guys, of course, if anyone of you have any suggestion for me, like myself for the podcast, or if anyone of you want to come to the podcast, beg us on the podcast, show me something with about this part of the world and make a difference because you are here. Please let me know in the comment below so we can arrange it. Have a great time with me in English, and just let me know in the comment below so we can arrange it. And guys, you're more than welcome if you learn something new from the channel, maybe something that I said or from the book. Maybe you have your own life lessons that you learn from someone else. Please, you are more than welcome. Please share it with us. For the community, your wisdom in the comment section below, so all of the community can improve ourselves and enrich our lives. Thank you, your wisdom. So thank you very much in advance. And one last thing, guys, before we start to the book, before we moving to the book, if you enjoy the process, if you enjoy the video, and if you learn something new on the channel, please consider to share your support by liking the video, share it with friends, subscribe to the channel, put the notification bell so you can get it on each time that extremely exciting episodes are coming to YouTube. Ding! And it's going to be 5 extremely exciting episodes per week. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, put the notification bell, share it with your friend, and like the video. And guys, before thank you very much. Guys, just 1, 2, 3, 4 clicks from your own side, and it's really going to have made big impact on me. So thank you very much, guys. if you can do it. And as you can see, this is a new lesson that I learned to put the date that I record the episode today and the over here on top of the video. And you see the sub count. We have already 2 subscribers of the channel. So yeah, 344 episode, 2 subscribers, total views of 317 of all the channel. You can do the math. There are some videos that didn't get viewed, but we're staying strong each day, guys. Each day we're staying strong. And maybe I need to add my current video. Current video is the videos about the release. So the current video of today is this video. And I still in the Song of Things is 21. It's episode 321. Yeah, it's 21. Check it before. Maybe for my next episode now, because now I just want to start the episode. No, but let's see. So now we're going to do it right now with you guys. So you see just subscribers. Total views 417, right? Like I said. Episode 321, right? This is how I said current. Yeah. Current like this. Okay, it's okay. I said. When you save it as JPEG, how to save it? This is a previous. This is a right now. Finish. Now let's switch it. Bam! You see, we got it. So yeah, got episode 121. Yeah, let's go. It's mean we have 15 episode in advance. But as I told you, next week I'm going to the military, so I'm not going to record episode. So it's 15. It's 8. We have 8. I think that we have 8. Yeah. Yeah, why not? Yeah. So guys, what an introduction. I just dive right into the book. It's been a little bit longer intro, but you learned how. But I show you how I do it thing. How I do my things. And you see me with the headphone because, as I told you, I enjoy hearing the music and get the music from yesterday, the first time. In the comment below, in the description of the video below. You can check it after the video. Yeah. So let's start. So Influence, the psychology of persuasion, Robert B. Kennedy. Page is 38 on the PDF and 80 on the ebook and 88 on the book itself if you want to follow me. 38 to 42, so 20 to 52. We got all the pages in the comment below. You can see from where I need. Why should I feel a something to reciprocate? Why should I feel a strain to reciprocate a concession? The answer resides once again in the benefit of such a tendency to the society. It is in the interests of any human group to have its members working together toward the achievement of common goals. However, in many social interactions, the participants begin with requirements and demands that are unacceptable to one another. Now the society must arrange to have those initial incompatible desires set aside for the sake of socially beneficial cooperation. This is accomplished for procedures that promote compromise. Mutual concession is one important such procedure. The reciprocation rule brings about mutual concession in two ways. The first is obvious. It pressures the recipient of an already made concession to respond in kind. The second, while not so obvious, is pivotally important. Just as in the case of favors, gifts, or aid, the obligation to reciprocate a connection encourages the creation of solidity, desirable arrangements by ensuring that anyone seeking to start such an arrangement will not be exploited. After all, if there were no social obligation to reciprocate a concession, who would want to make the first sacrifice? To do so would be to risk giving up something and getting nothing back. However, if the rule in effect, we can feel safe making the first sacrifice to our partner, who is obligated to offer a return sacrifice. Because the rule for reciprocation governs the compromise process, it is possible to use an initial concession as a part of highly effective compliance technique. The technique is a simple one that we can call the rejection, then retreat technique. Suppose you want me to agree to a certain request. One way to increase your chances would be first to make a larger request for me, one that I will most likely turn down. Then, after I have refused, you would make the smaller request that you were really interested in all along. Provided that you have structured your requests skillfully, I should view your second request as a concession to me and should feel inclined to respond with a concession of my own. The only one I would have immediately open to me, compliance with your second request. Was it how the Boy Scout got me to buy the candy bars? Was it a retreat from the $5 request to the $1 request and artificial one that was intentionally designed to sell candy bars? As one was still refused to discount even his first scout merit by badged, I generally open out. But whether or not the large request then a small request sequence was planned, its effect was the same. It worked. And because it works, the rejection then retreat technique can and will be used purposely by certain people to get their way. First, let's examine how this tactic can be used as a reliable compliance device. Later, we will see how it is already being used. Finally, we can turn to a pair of little-known features of the techniques that make it one of the most pervasively influential compliance tactics available. Remember that after my encounter with the Boy Scout, I called my research assistants together to try to understand what had happened to me and, as it turned out, to read the evidence. Actually, we did more than that. We designed an experiment to test the effectiveness of the procedure of moving to a desired request after a larger preliminary request had been refused. We had two primary purposes in conducting the experiment. First, we wanted to see whether this procedure worked on people besides myself. That is, it certainly seems that the tactic had been effective when tried on me earlier in the day. But then, I have a history of falling for compliance tricks of all sorts. So the question remained, does the rejection then retreat technique work on enough people to make it a useful procedure for gaining compliance? If so, it would definitely be something to be aware of in the future. Our second reason for doing the study was to determine how powerful a compliance device the technique was. Could it bring about compliance with a generally sizable request? In other words, did a small request to which the question retreated have to be a small request? If I'm thinking about what caused the technique to be effective was correct, the second request did not actually have to be small. It only had to be smaller than the initial one. It was our suspicion that the critical thing about a requesters retreat from a larger to a smaller favor was its appearance as a concession. Then, so the second request could be an objectively large one, as long as it was smaller than the first request, and the technique would still work. After a bit of thought, we decided to try the technique on a request that we felt few people would agree to perform. Posing as representatives of the county of a consulting program, we approached college students working on campus and asked if they would be willing to chaperone a group of Johnville delinquents on a day trip to the zoo. The idea of being responsible for a group of Johnville delinquents of unspecified age for hours in a public place without pay was hardly an inviting one for those students. As we expected, the great majority, 83%, refused. Yet we obtained very different results from a similar sample of college students who were asked the very same question with one difference. Before we invited them to serve as unpaid chaperones on the zoo trip, we asked them for an even larger favor, to spend 2 hours per week as a consular to a Johnville delinquent for a minimum of 2 years. It was only after they refused this extreme request, as all did, that we made the smaller zoo trip request. By presenting the zoo trip as a retreat from our initial request, our success rate increased dramatically. 3 times as many of the students, 3 times as many of the students approached in this manner, volunteering to serve as zoo chaperones. Be assured that the strategy, be assured that any strategy able to triple the percentage of clients with a substantial request from 17% to 50% in our experiment will be frequently employed in a variety of natural settings. Labor negotiators, for instance, often use the tactic of beginning with extreme demands that they do not actually expect to win, but from which they can retreat in a series of seeming concessions designed to draw real concessions from the opposing side. It would appear then that the larger the initial request, the more effective the procedure, the more effective the procedure, since there would be more room available for illusory concessions. This is truly only up to a point, however. Research conducted at the Bar-Ilan University in Israel, damn, on the reduction retreat techniques shows that if the first state of demands is so extreme as to be seen as unreasonable, the tactics backfires. In such cases, the party who has made the extreme first request is not seen to be bargaining in good faith. Any subsequent retreat from that wholly unrealistic initial position is not viewed as a genuine concession, and those is not reciprocated. The truly gifted negotiator then is one whose initial position is exaggerated enough to allow for a series of reciprocal concessions that will yield a desirable final offer from the opponent. Yet is not so outlandish as to be seen as illegitimate from the start. It seems that certain of the most successful television procedures, such as Grant Tinker and Gary Marshall, are masters of this art in their negotiation with network sensors. In a candid interview with TV Guide, Martin Dick Russell both admitted to deliberately inserting lines into scripts that censor sure to X, so that they could then retreat to the lines they really wanted included. Marshall appears especially active in this regard. Consider, for example, the following quotes from Russell's article. But Marshall not only admits these tricks, he seems to reveal in them. On one episode of his then top rated Laverne and Shirley series, for example, he says, we had a situation where Spig is in a rush to get out of his apartment and meet some girls upstairs. He says, will you hurry up before I lose my lust? But in the script, we put something even stronger, knowing the censors would cut it. They did. So we asked innocently, well, how about lose my lust? That is good, they said. Sometimes you gotta go at a team backward. I think it's the end of the quote. Just a minute. To get comfortable. On the Epiday series, the biggest censorship fight was over the word virgin. That time, says Marshall, so it's not the end of the word. It's not the end of the quote. I knew we would have trouble, so we put the word in 7 times. Openings would cut 6 and keep 1. It worked. We use the same pattern again with the word pregnant. Now it's out of the quote, I think. I witnessed another form of the rejection then retreat technique in my investigations of door-to-door sales operations. Those organizations use the less engineered, more opportunistic version of the tactic. Of course, the most important goal for a door-to-door salesperson is to make the sale. However, the training programs of each of the companies I investigated emphasized that a second important goal was to obtain from prospects the names of referrals, friends, relatives, or neighbors on whom we could call. For a variety of reasons, we will discuss in chapter 5 the percentage of successful door-to-door sales increases impressively when the sales operator is able to mention the name of a familiar person who recommended the sales visit. Never as a sales trainee was I taught to get the sales pitch refused so that I could then retreat to a request for referrals. In several such programs, though, I was trained to take advantage of the opportunity to secure referrals offered by customers' purchase refusal. Well, if it is your feeling that a fine set of encyclopedias is not right for you at this time, right for you at this time, perhaps you could help me by giving me the names of some others who might wish to take advantage of our company's great offer. What would be the names of some of those people you know? Many individuals who would not otherwise subject their friends to a high pressure sales presentation to do agree to supply referrals when the request is presented as a concession from a purchase request they have just refused. We have already discussed one reason for success of the rejection then retreat technique. It's incorporation of the reciprocity. It's incorporation of the reciprocity rule. This larger than smaller request strategy is effective for a pair of other reasons as well. The first concerns the perceptual contrast principle encountered in chapter 1. That principle accounted for, among other things, the tendency of a man to spend more money on a sweater following his purchase of a suit for let's focus today. That principle accounted for, among other things, the tendency of a man to spend more money on a sweater following his purchase of a suit than before. After being exposed to the price of the large item, the price of the less expensive one appears smaller by comparison. In the same way, the larger than smaller request procedure makes use of the contrast principle by making the smallest request look even smaller by comparison with the larger one. If I want you to lend me $5, I can make it seem like a small request by first asking you to lend me $10. One of the beauties of this tactic is that by first requesting $10 and then returning to $5, I will have simultaneously engage the force of the reciprocity rule and the contrast principle. Not only will my $5 request be viewed as a concession to the reciprocated. Not only will my $5 request be viewed as a concession to be reciprocated, It will also look to you like a small request than if I just asked for it straight away. Then if I just like asked for it straight away. In combination, the influences of reciprocity and perceptual contrast can present a fearsomely powerful force. Embodied in the rejection is the retreat sequence. The conjoined energies are capable of genuinely astonishing effects. It is my feeling that they provide the only really plausible explanation of one of the most baffling political actions of our time. The decision to break into the Watergate offices of the Democratic National Committee, the threat to the ruin of Richard Nixon presidency. One of the participants in that decision, Jeb Stuart Magruder, upon first hearing that the Watergate bunglers had been caught, responded with appropriate bewilderment, bewilderment. How could we have been so stupid? Indeed, how? To understand how enormously ill-conceived an idea it was for the Nixon administration to undertake the break-in, it is necessary to review a few facts. One, the idea was that of G. Gordon Liddy, who was in charge of intelligence gathering operations for the committee to re-elect the president, CRP. Liddy had gained a reputation among administration higher-ups as something of a flake, and there were questions about his stability and judgment. Two, Liddy's proposal was extremely costly, requiring a budget of $250,000 in untouchable cash. 3. In late March, when the proposal was approved in a meeting of the CRP director, John Mitchell, and his assistants, Magruder and Frederick LaRue, the outlook for a Nixon victory in the November election could not have been brighter. Edmund Muskie, the only announced candidate the early polls had given a chance of unseating the president, had done poorly in the primaries. It looked very much as though the most defeatable candidate, George McGovern, would win his party's nomination. Republican victory seemed assured. 4. The break-in plan itself was a highly risky operation requiring the participation and discretion and requiring the participation and the discretion of 10 men. The Democratic National Committee and its chairman, Lawrence O'Brien, whose Watergate office was to be bungled and botched, had no information demanding enough to defeat the incumbent president, nor was they likely to get any unless the administration did something very, very foolish. Guys, guess what? This is the end of the episode. So, guys, thank you very much. I really appreciate the fact that you choose to invest out of me. And I really hope that you don't start to use the channel. And guys, I can't wait to see you all in tomorrow's episode of the Guys Book Club, the World's Book Club. Until then, take yourself have a good time. Bye-bye. Guys, so today it's Sunday, 27 on March 2022. And the time now is 22:18. Today, in a group of WhatsApp, and someone said some violent, not appropriate video. I didn't watch it, and then before I watch it, I didn't watch it because I didn't know what it was, so I didn't download it to my WhatsApp. But then some of the group members sent a message that said, please don't send it to the family, don't send it to other people because you don't want the family to see it. And then I asked what it's about, and it says it was some terror attack or something like this, and someone dies. And I was like, thought to myself, why you send those stuff? First, it's not respect. It doesn't show any respect to the family and to the guys that died. And second, you need to put some awareness before that, some spoiler alert or something like this, that I would know that I don't want to watch the stuff. So I said to said or not said, said or not said, and then I said, please, in the next times I did think about to say that I think it's not appropriate to send the stuff because I'm new in the group and I don't know what is the connection, why he sends it. But I said, please, can you the next time please asking that you write before that it's contain some violence, or I don't know how you get it, some not appropriate material that if someone want to watch it, you can watch it, but if not, so I don't know, I know that I could know that what the videos contain, and I won't do it. And I think that part of the reasons that I have the courage to do it, because usually I don't know if I do it, if people do it. I think it's because of the book club that I'm just standing up and speaking, and the books that influence me, just to step on my own to be the leader. Yeah, and that's why to share it with you guys. יום ראשון 27 לשלישי 2022 בשעה 7:20 בערב. אני קצת לא מרוכז, עכשיו נעשה קצת שיעורי בית ב-SPSS. בחרנו את כל הסרטונים, עכשיו נשאלות את הסרט המשפט היומי והכל. הולך להיות כיף, חזרתי להיות הדי-ג'יי קצת, נשחקתי עם הדי-ג'יי היום. נחמד, כמו שאמרתי, עכשיו הייתי עבודה בקבוצה של מילואים. יאללה, יש מילים שבוע הבא, רק רוצה לעבור את זה כבר. ולחץ צריך להגיע, מה הולך להיות שם? יאללה, רק צריך לעבור את זה. בהצלחה, להתראות.